I'm starting to become extremely bullish for the crypto market and especially for our altcoins, which have gotten absolutely slammed over the last couple months. And by the end of this video, I think you're going to be just as bullish as I am. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Now, on the first thing we're going to talk about is going to be exactly when I was able to switch my bias from bearish to bullish, or at least a neutral to bullish. And the reasoning is right here. This daily breaker is holding up a support, a nice long wick. I'm going to go ahead and flip from a short-term bullish and expect another push up soon. Now, what am I talking about? This is the candle right here. This is called a bullish hammer candlestick that was formed on the daily. As you can see, this breaker was formed, it pushed down, and then it was able to push it right back to the upside. This is a bullish hammer, and what this is telling us is that although the bears pushed it down, the bulls stepped up and pushed it right back to the upside. This is a very bullish sign whenever you can see it in the market, okay? And this is a good indication that we're going to have continuation to the upside. So this is the moment where I was able to say, hold on a second, I actually like what's going on here, and I think we're going to have another advance up. And obviously, we did go ahead and get that advance up. Now, where are we right now? This is the overall chart of Bitcoin and what I'm looking for the essentially the macro perspective of it, right? And the most important levels on this chart is going to be the monthly breaker. You can see it right here. We have a weekly breaker. You can see it right here. Both of these levels are very significant and have given us a ton of resistance so far in this consolidation structure. You can see this weekly breaker, although we've traded above it, every single time we keep pushing back to the downside, okay? And the monthly breaker, we can't even get above it, but this level is absolutely resisting, and this is a really, really strong level that will be very hard to actually get above. Not only that, we also have the yearly open right in this level as well. But the good news is a few things. For one, we've already tested these levels a ton of time, guys. As you can see, we pushed it once, twice, 3 times, 4 times this weekly breaker, and we're about to press to a 5th time. The more a level is tested, the more likely it is to finally break. And we've been consolidating in this level ever since January, guys. It has been 2 months. We have been in this level just bouncing left and right. And now we're finally starting to get some bullish pressure that I think will be able to finally accelerate us to the upside. All right. Now, other things that we're looking at is down here. This 3-day level is very significant. And of course, this weekly level that was able to hold us on this dip down in late January. All right. Now, the only thing that I'm still looking at is that we still have all this untapped liquidity, right? So all these levels right here, these are all levels that would be a very optimal spots for a swing low. So this is essentially an area where people may be trying to defend for the long positions, and if it gets broken down below, this could be an area where people hit their stop losses on their long positions. It could also be targets for a lot of shorts. So essentially, these levels I would like to get cleared. But the more we go up, the less likely I think that we are actually going to clear them. I think what's going to happen is we're just going to keep pushing to the upside, and these levels are never going to actually get filled, which is, of course, very, very bullish because all these people waiting to buy at these levels are not going to get filled, and they're going to be forced to buy a lot higher up, all right? So the overall perspective here is that we are just bouncing between here, and we have been bouncing between here for a very long time, right? However, we're coming to a consolidation point, and now we're just starting to actually have some really bullish momentum. So let's talk about more of that bullish momentum, right? And I'll go back to that in a second. Well, the first thing is on Dow, okay? The traditional stock markets are starting to really press to the upside. And this is something I really did want to see. All right, so the Dow is starting to press up. And not only that, the DXY, okay, the dollar currency index, this is the overall strength of the US dollar compared to other currencies, right? Well, the DXY is now starting to drop the downside. And think of it this way. Whenever you have the US dollar, or if you have crypto and you want to sell, where are you going to sell it into? The US dollar, right? If you want to buy crypto, what are you going to buy it with? The US dollar. So essentially, they are an inverse of each other. So the higher the dollar goes, essentially the more bearish crypto is, and vice versa. This also applies to the traditional stock market. So we want to see this level drop. And as you can see, this level right here is very significant, and we are just now starting to actually drop down below it for the first time in a very long time, guys. So we're actually starting to have some bearish momentum that is pushing us to the downside. Very, very good sign. So we want to see this drop, and it is definitely drooping. And if we really start breaking down below here, I think our crypto markets can absolutely explode. All right, this is one thing. Now the next thing is this chart is pretty incredible. This is the open long positions on the Bitfinex chart. All right, so these are all the open longs, and as you can see, we have been gradually increasing. People are gaining additional confidence that crypto is going to keep increasing. Okay, so whenever people enter a long position, they're basically making a bet saying, I think that the crypto market is going to increase. And if you have enough money to influence this chart, then you also probably have enough money to cover your positions and ensure that this your bet is basically won, right? So you would place buy walls and things of that nature to ensure that your liquidations don't get hit. So the more that this goes up, the more bullish I become, all right? And I know that may be a little bit weird for people because they're like, oh man, too many longs means there's a lot of bearish pressure. Well, yes. However, I look at it as overall confidence in the people with the actual money, not your retail investors, but the whales, the guys out there who actually have the money to really move the market, all right? So longs have been increasing very steadily over the last few months. However, on the short positions, we are at an all-time low on our shorts right now, guys. We are at an all-time low on our short positions. They just keep dropping and dropping and dropping and dropping, all right? So this also tells us that the confidence of the people is that the market is not going to drop, right? This is showing confidence in the market makers that the market is going to drop. And obviously, there is no confidence. You guys see this? This means that no one is betting that the market's going to drop. The people with the actual power. The people who think it's going to drop are your retail investors and people who don't really know what's going on, all right? The people who have the money are saying the market is going to go up. And we see that with the long and the short position, okay? So overall, this looks really, really, really good for me. And I really do like seeing the confidence in the market makers being at such a high level. Now, the next thing is going to be on the total 3 chart, okay? The total 3, this is the crypto market, or the altcoin market, all right? This is all cryptocurrency except for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So this is your legitimate altcoins outside of Ethereum. Now, this chart I've shown you guys many, many times because it is extremely important, guys. I cannot stress it enough. Let's go to the 4 hour so it's not bugged. As you can see, this level right here is a weekly breaker, okay? This weekly breaker has acted as a very strong resistance originally, broke above, acted as a support, and now it's currently still acting as a support level. Not only that, this is the golden pocket retracement for the total 3 chart. We are now pressing up and are now back above the golden pocket on the total 3 chart. This is acting as support like we would expect it to in a good and a healthy market. This looks completely healthy, and I have zero issue with this chart. Now, that's a micro perspective, but something else pretty cool happened on the micro that's also getting me excited. As you guys can see, we have a really clear trend line that's been established on the total 3 chart, and this goes back all the way to December of last year, okay? And you can now see we have not only pushed up from it, but if you go to the low time frame, we also have a bullish retest of that breakout. So it broke the upside, we came back down, we retested it, confirmed it as a support level, and now we're starting to push to the upside. This is really, really good for our altcoins, guys. I cannot stress it enough. Every single time that we've come in this level, rejection, 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 right? This really, really harsh rejection that we got a couple nights ago, right? However, we've now punched to the upside, and now we're starting to make some good movements. And if you guys are if you guys have crypto portfolios, you know that your portfolios are starting to now break out. And I think that this is just now starting to get started. Now, furthermore, the Bitcoin dominance chart is also very important. All right, and I talked about this in the last video that I released, how we had these two candles right here. Let me go get rid of this. These two candles right here together. This is called a tweezer pair candles, and I say I wanted to see this tweezer, the tweezer pair. I want to see it get confirmed so that I have confirmation that we are able to go to the downside, because two tweezer a tweezer pairing is actually a very, very bearish sign. Okay, it's a very bearish sign. So that means the bulls pressed up, but they got pushed all the way back down. And the next week they did the exact same thing. They pushed up again, and they were even dropped lower than the open. This is perfect, guys. This is exactly what we were looking to see, and we have now confirmed our bearish tweezer candles, which, since we're on the Bitcoin dominance chart, is actually a very, very good sign for your altcoins. Now, furthermore, even more important in my opinion, is that we now have this very clear trend line. Okay, very clear trend line, and as you can see, we were pressing up against it down here. We kept hitting it, hitting it, hitting it, hitting it. Now we have broken down, and also this looks like we have quite a bit of conviction right now. That means that not only is the Bitcoin dominance breaking down, it's starting to break down pretty dang aggressively. All right, now the last level that's really holding us up is this 4-hour 200 moving average, which is such an important level, right? But as soon as we break down from here, I think that we're going to get a massive drop to the downside. And not only that, guys, trend lines are very important for the Bitcoin dominance chart. I'm going to show you two examples. The first one's right here, how we had a very clear rising wedge that did actually break the downside. We came back up, did a bearish retest, and then we had a massive drop. This is the miniature alt season that we had in from August to September this last year. And even more importantly, if you guys remember this one, go to the higher time frame. Oh, let me get it all squared away. There it is. Okay. Remember this one, right? This was our lows back in 2017 and 2018. You draw a trend line all the way back here, and especially in the low time frame, it looks really clean. We tested it, we broke down beneath it, we started consolidating, we started dropping bearish retests like we had on the rising wedge, and then this was the alt season that we had early 2020 or early 2021. This is the alt season, right? From 2021 from January of 2021 over to May of 2021. This is when all the laser eyes, this is when Dogecoin popped off, this is where Ethereum rose at 5,000%. This is the massive increase in the altcoin market that we had, and we are now starting to break down from a similar, be it smaller trend line, make that very clear, but we are starting to get this breakdown as well. All right, now again, and we're even going to continue on this one more time. We have an obvious impulse. We have an obvious consolidation. Is this perhaps something called a bear flag? Yeah, I think that's probably a fair assumption, right? And so if you have a bear flag, you want to take the poll and you want to expand it over here, and you can see the target for this bear flag is incredibly low, guys. Now, are we going to get this low in the Bitcoin dominance? Very unlikely. However, this is the amount of potential that we have in the altcoin market, and it's breaking down right now. Okay, I could not stress this enough, guys. So as long as we are able to stay below this trend line, I am extremely bullish on the crypto market, especially the altcoins. And as long as we are able to hold above this trend line, and especially hold above this weekly breaker, I'm absolutely not selling my altcoins. There's no one who's going to take them away from me, because this is exactly what we saw way back here when we had this massive parabolic run. Okay, now will it happen again? Not going to say that. I'm not a financial advisor as well, so I cannot say that legally. But understand, guys, this is a very similar structure, and I'm getting extremely excited, just like I was getting excited way down here. So I hope this makes a lot of sense. May run a little bit long. I hope this, like, you guys really grasp the significance of it, right? Now, I do update on here a lot more than Discord. So I'm update on Discord a lot more than YouTube. So make sure you guys are on Discord, because I do update on here a lot, guys, and daily updates and all that good stuff. So make sure to check that out. And on the altcoin market specifically, I have a ton of altcoin positions that I am adjusting right now, and the only way you're going to get access to that is by being a Patreon member, okay? So if you're a Patreon member, you can join the Discord as a Patreon member, and you'll get to know all the altcoin plays, everything else that's going on as well. So outside of that, both of those descriptions are in the link below. Outside of that, I'm going to let you guys go. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Like always, deuces, boys. I'm out.